Hey Canucks fans, this morning I want to talk about how impressed I am with Vasily Podkolzin and also answer a few of your questions in my weekly Ask Me Anything. I am Canuck Clay. This is my Canucks Take All in One Take. It's Clay's Canucks commentary for Sunday, April the 10th. If you're new, here's what you should do. Hit the subscribe button now for daily Canucks insight that's positive, timely, and trustworthy. We're on our way to 9K, or as I say, the road to 9 Clay. Get it? Yes, I want to get there by the end of this month, so let's see if we can make that happen. Thanks to everyone who joined me. No, didn't join me. You watched my video last night. I went to the game with my son Jacob, with Sean and Fernanda. I did a quick vlog when I got home last night. A wonderful 4-2 victory. The Canucks, now 3 straight, still staying alive in the playoff race, so we will see what happens as the LA Kings are playing today. Okay. Before I get to your questions, and I only have a couple of them this week, maybe I didn't do a good enough call out, or maybe I've simply been answering what's been on your mind all week. I want to talk about Vasily Podkolzin. I've always felt connected to Podkolzin because I was at the 2019 entry draft here in Vancouver where he was selected. For those of you that have been with me for the past few years, you know that night was crazy. That night I went to round 1 of the draft. Then I volunteered at my son Sean's after grad. I was a blackjack and roulette dealer or croupier or whatever the name is, all night, and then we didn't sleep. Then we went home, showered, and went down to Rogers Arena for day 2 of the draft, and that's when the JT Miller trade broke. So it was an amazing, 24-hour stretch for me to experience the draft and to hang out with Sean and all of his graduating buddies. But there I was, me and Mike on day 1 actually in the upper bowl watching the draft and watching, of course, Jack Hughes go first. And then Nico Hischier goes second. And then, I got Hischier. I got the dates wrong. It was Jack Hughes first, and then Capo Caco second. That's what I meant to say. And then it went on from there. Doc Byron, Turcotte, Sider, Cousins, Broberg, Zegras, and then Podkolzin. Now it was interesting. I know at the time I was looking at all the American U.S. development players. So I was thinking, I know Turcotte was going to go early, and of course Jack Hughes went number 1. But then there were still, after Broberg was picked at 8, there was still Zegras left there. And then all of them, Boldy, Spencer Knight, Cameron York, Cole Caulfield, all these guys were still available. Then Anaheim did take Zegras at 9, and then it was the Canucks to pick at 10. Remember, this is in Vancouver. And when Stan Smeel went up there and basically butchered Podkolzin's name, Vasilias Podslovins, I'm sure you guys have seen it by now, I was excited, but I know it wasn't unanimous in the crowd because you kind of hear gasps, like audible gasps, like, oh, and then you hear some cheering, some booing. So I wouldn't say it's a mixed reaction. It was certainly more cheering than booing, but I think there were some people that were actually surprised that we did indeed select Podkolzin. I wasn't surprised because you might remember at the start of the season, he was ranked in the top 2 or 3 with Hughes and Kako. He was right up there as a potential top 3 pick, and then his stock slowly slipped throughout the season. So I promise you at that, and you can watch my vlogs from that time. At that time, did I say steal? Maybe not, but I said I think it was going to be a really, really good pick. Pick number 10, Russian. So I put 10 and Russian together. I didn't say it was going to be like Bure, but I was excited for sure. And then we know that he went back to the KHL. Applied his trade for a couple more years, and then had his rookie season this year. And it's kind of interesting that we took him in the first round on Friday, and then on Saturday we took Niels Hoglander in the second round. And Hoglander made the team 1 full year before Podkolzin did. So at the start of the season, you guys might remember both here on Canucks After Dark, I said that I think Podkolzin would have a better season than Hoglander. I just think he's a more talented player, and I think he's going to have a better career. And I want Hoglander to do well. It's not like we can only have one or the other. I want Hoglander to do well. You want all young guys to do well because you want them to play really well, especially in their first 3-year entry-level contract, because you only are paying them $900,000, $950,000 or $850,000, $900,000. But if they can outproduce that, then that is a huge bonus for a team like the Canucks who are cap-strapped. Well, I would say that Podkolzin's had a really good season. He has 19 points in 70 games, so 10 goals and 9 assists. And his ice time has, it's been as low as 6 or 7 minutes. But now, last night, he had 17 minutes of ice time against the San Jose Sharks. Very impressive. 17 minutes and then 4.5 minutes of those minutes on the power play because he was on the second unit, and the second unit got a lot of time because there were 7 power plays for the Canucks. And Podkolzin had 3 shots on goal. He got in a little bit of a scuffle, and I just love so much of Podkolzin's game. He's got a really good wrist shot. Actually, he's got a good release. He's got a nose for the net. I want him to shoot more. And maybe it's a confidence thing. Maybe he's always deferring to the veterans on his line. But I want him to shoot more because he does have a good shot. His skating is not as bad as I thought it would be. Because I think the one knock on him when we drafted him was he's got kind of an awkward skating stride. And he's never going to be the fastest guy. But he's good. He's got good moves, good pivots. We've seen him do some inside-out moves, outside-in moves. We've seen him do some toe drags. So I think he's good on his skates. And he's an efficient skater. Getting better for sure. Can still improve on that. I think he's got awesome hands. And that's a good thing when it comes to passing, of course, and stick handling. And then he's also got a good hockey IQ. And we've seen that especially over the past few games, whether it's a zone exit where he makes a smart play, holds on the puck for an extra second to make a smart play, or it's back checking. He's a tenacious back checker, which is another great thing that shows not only his hockey IQ but his effort. And then he's tough to play against. He wins a lot of puck battles. He doesn't win all of them, but he wins the majority of them. So you add it all together, and I think we have a really, really good player here. And remember, we still have him on his entry-level deal for 2 more seasons, given that he's only played 1 year. So 10 goals, 9 assists, 19 points in 70 games. Stats-wise, Hoglander is having a better season. Hoglander has basically the same amount of points, 18 points, 10 goals and 8 assists, instead of the 10 goals and 9 assists. But in 10 fewer games, Hoglander's only played 60 games and Podkolzin's played 70 games, and they basically have the same stats. So you could argue from a stats perspective, Hoglander has had a better season, even averaging a bit more time on ice. But I think, and Hoglander even had a really good rookie season last year, 27 points in only 56 games, almost a point every 2 games. And again, I'm not saying that you have to pit one against the other, but I do think that Podkolzin has the game that's going to improve more, and it's going to have more standing power, more lasting power. And I think just overall, even when Hoglander, before he got injured, you started to see Podkolzin get more of the important minutes. And Podkolzin's now out there when we're trying to score. He's out there when we're protecting a lead. And I think he's the type of guy that you can really build around. And he can be a solid fixture on a second line for years to come. And he's had to be that with Besser and Pearson out over the past game, at least, if not more. So all to say, I'm really glad with this draft pick. I was happy with it 3 years ago. I'm happy with it now. And I think Podkolzin is going to be a fan favorite as he continues to develop. His no-look passes, his toe drags, his antics in the locker room as he continues to learn English. So much to like about him. And I think as long as Canucks fans are patient, then we have a real good find in him. And if Hoglander works out as well, then that's our top 2 picks from 2019 that work out. And you want one for sure, if not 2, to work out from each season. So I think that you'd call that a good draft class for the Canucks. Let me know your thoughts on Podkolzin. I'd love to know your thoughts on him below. What do you think about him when we drafted him, and how has he impressed you this season? Okay, let's get to Ask Me Anything. Actually, only 2 questions today. So I'm not sure, again, it's because I didn't do a good job soliciting questions, but I think I mentioned it in my couple of vlogs. Anyways, let's get to them and honor those people that did ask. Tristan says this: good afternoon, Clay. Hope you're doing well. If the Canucks can make the playoffs, who do you think we have the better chance of beating in the first round? And my other question is, do you think we'll keep Tyler Myers? And if not, who can we get for him? Thanks. Have a wonderful day. It should be a great game this evening. This was yesterday. Go Canucks, go. And remember, I am always a fan for life. My bro, peace and love. Wow, Tristan, I appreciate all of those kind words and I appreciate your loyalty. To answer your questions, who do we have the best chance of beating in the first round? I would love it if we got to the 3rd spot in the Pacific, beating LA, beating Vegas, and then playing Edmonton in the first round, because I'm confident we can beat Edmonton over a 7-game series. I think that's an easier opponent than if we came in the second wildcard spot and then we're facing Colorado. So for sure, I prefer to play Edmonton over Colorado. To answer your second question, I do think we'll keep Tyler Myers. I think he's played not bad this season, not bad since Rutherford and Alvin and Boudreau have taken over. And as contract, it's not the most movable contract. So I do think that Tyler Myers will be kept as opposed to shopped. And then Tyler says, what Canuck goalie mask paint job is your favorite? You know, I'm not a big jersey guy. a big merch guy. I'm not a big goalie mask guy, to be honest with you, but I did do some research. I do remember some of the Longos ones. I remember Markstrom with his ears sticking, like it's supposed to be his ears and whatever. And Demko's had some nice ones, including some theme ones. But you know the one I like? It was actually McLean's, and Demko replicated it for that February game against Calgary when the Canucks went with their black skates. It's Kurt McLean's mask. And now Demko's recent one, where it's a flying V on the top, right where my bald spot is, and then it's the stick and rink logos on the side. Simple, sharp, white, black, orange, yellow. And then Demko did a further solid and then put this picture of McLean and Linden on the back, on the head plate there, which is really, really cool. So that's actually the one that stood out to me because I thought it looked so sharp when Demko wore it. And I remember that is the exact same thing that McLean wore when he was playing for the Canucks in the 90s. So that's the mask that I like the most of the Canucks goalies. Okay, guys, thank you for your questions. Only 2 of them, but it gave me a chance to talk about Podkolzin today. Tonight, 10 p.m., live stream. I'm bringing Jacob on for the majority of it, at least the first half an hour, and we can ask him questions about his experience in Toronto and Mississauga and what he's looking forward to in representing Team Canada in the World Junior Bowling Championships in Sweden in June. So join me tonight for my 10 p.m. live stream. And if you made it this far, 11 and a half minutes into this, simply put pods, P-O-D-Z, pods, P-O-D-Z in the comments to let me know that you indeed made it this far. Okay, friends, subscribe. No, I got to do all my shoutouts. Thank you to sponsors Perform Transform, Personal Training and Weight Loss, and Advanced City Experts Real Estate Group, Jason Lim and his team. And to Hall of Fame members, Jens95, Simalexander, Chris Seifert, Adam Broomfield, Shannon Hollingworth, Hsmfangirl Gaming, Smoovegroove, and Carol Bovenlander. Thank you for your support as always, and thanks to the support of all members of all levels. You are listed in my video descriptions. If you want to become a member of the CCC Crew, press the join button underneath this or my videos on the memberships tab on my YouTube channel. Subscribe if you'd like to, like this video if you'd like to, become a member or upgrade if you'd like to, and leave a comment down below if you'd like to on your thoughts on Podkolzin's season so far. Don't forget, 10 p.m. tonight, live stream, bringing on the champ, Jacob Emo. Stay safe, stay healthy, take care of yourselves and take care of each other. Have a great day. God bless. Go Canucks, go.